Welcome to my office. Hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you're having an awesome 2020 summer. Thanks for taking the time to check out this newsletter, and thank you for taking the time to check out this little intro video here. So I think I've got some great information that you're going to enjoy down below. By all means, share it with your friends or family or colleagues at the office or wherever else you are that can benefit from this information. A couple of great listings down at the bottom there, that multiplex, duplex options for those looking at growing a portfolio, the real estate portfolio. This might be of interest to you guys. So go check out all that information down below. I've also provided some market information there as far as how the market in the Waterloo region has progressed in the 2020 July. So I'm going to talk about that in a second there. But the other big one I've talked to, I've provided actually a follow-up video to this. You can scroll down, select the video, and see what the details there pertains to refinances and also what's called reverse mortgages. I find a lot of people just are not familiar with these concepts of refinancing and really what they allow for clients to do there as far as consolidating debts to mitigate their monthly payments to various debtors, bringing all their debtors under one roof, and of course get interest rates down significantly. So yeah, check out that video. I think you'll find it very informative. And if it doesn't help you, it might help a family member, a loved one, a colleague. Especially the big one I'm getting out is with a lot of the older clientele. Money gets a little bit tight, unfortunately, but they have these homes, so there's a lot of potential there that we can actually help them through a reverse mortgage. So check that out. I give you some examples in that video there. But let's get into the real estate side of things. I'm going to actually share with you my screen here. I'm going to share with you some stats we pulled for the month of July. So as you can see, the city of Kitchener has really increased significantly in value, and we're seeing the average sale price of all of our homes, and this is inclusive of condos, detached towns, is around $640,000. So we're definitely creeping up there. But what I'm really paying attention to is, if you can see with my little pointer there, I'm not sure if you can see, but we're seeing an average sale increase, so year over year, so taking July of 2019 and compared to July of 2020, a 22.8% increase. Okay, and then we've provided you some more details down here. The average single detached home now in our city of Kitchener-Waterloo is $745,000, and that has increased 21% year over end. So yeah, it's gotten really quite high. Now, it has been a little discouraging for a lot of clientele because they are having to deal with a lot of competitive offers, and it's making it very hard. It doesn't help that we're often listing these homes under market value just to entice buyers to come along to get these multiple offers. So that's where it's good to have a knowledgeable agent who has access to all the comps, so your clients and your friends and family can make informed decisions when they're trying to come up with a value. List price doesn't mean much, and one of the big issues we're often having is if we find a home, we like the home, we know we're going in multiples, and then oh, there comes another listing. Oh, well, that listing looks so beautiful, it's listed so nice and low. Hey, I want to go buy that home. But that listing is most likely, this day and age in Kitchener-Waterloo anyways, is a facade. It also is listed low, and so what you've just done is you've got ahead and passed on that house to go hopefully buy that home, and then of course that home is sold for a lot more as well, and then you're left standing there with nothing at all. So a little bit discouraging, but that is the environment we live in, and that is why it's so important to have an agent in your back pocket that really knows the market and can kind of help lead your family members, your loved ones, your colleagues through this whole process. Okay, I do it all the time. I'm very acquainted with what's going on there. Now, one thing some clients have said to me is, Dan, perhaps I'm going to hold off. Let's hold off until things calm down. And I get that. You know, it's not very much fun having to compete with 5, 10, 15, 20 other people. But think of it this way. What if, and I've encountered this with my clients that I helped back in 2016, 2017, where we had also a very aggressive market. What if you can get $10,000 off on the house? That's always nice, you can negotiate off. But the price you're buying the house for is $50,000 more than what everybody bought it for a year or 2 years ago. That's exactly what happened back in 2016, 2017. I had clients that had to fork out an extra $20,000, $30,000 above list price, or even higher, $50,000, just to secure the home. But now talking to those same clients, those houses are now up, well, it depends on the client. I was talking to one gentleman, he's up over $100,000 within the last few years. Now, back in 2018, you might be able to get $10,000 off. You might be able to negotiate that $10,000 off. But the problem is that's $10,000 off of a new valued house. So yes, you got $10,000 off, but you're still paying $50,000 more than what you would have paid if you would have gone into the multiples and just paid $50,000 less. So that's kind of the environment there. But a lot of people say, well, Dan, is it going to peak? Are we going to get to a peak? Like, these prices just don't seem tenable. And I get that. I think there's a lot of other factors we got to think about here, and these are just my speculations as a professional in my real estate industry. So take it for what it is. You can either agree with me or disagree with me, and that is quite fine. My job is to give you my thoughts. Well, I know a lot of my clients call me up and say, Dan, give me your thoughts. You're a professional in this field, and I want to know what are your thoughts. So let me kind of read off a few of these thoughts here. So let's first talk about Canada and Kitchener-Waterloo and what's going on here. We are, compared to many places around the world, in a very safe environment in many regards, not just for the safety of our families, but just in regards to our economy. It is very safe. It is, it's well diversified, especially in Kitchener-Waterloo and Cambridge. We're very well diversified. So when you buy here, just like when you buy in a lot of the other big cities, Toronto, New York, Chicago, LA, Orlando, they've got their economy diversified quite nicely. You know that nothing really is going to happen. It's not like a small town where a factory can close up or a mine can close up in the north, and all of a sudden there's no industries, there's no jobs for anybody to have, because a lot of them are support industries, such as real estate. I can't really sell homes to people if there's no jobs in the area. Okay. But that being said, Kitchener-Waterloo, as we know, the tech triangle of Canada, there's a lot of jobs here, and those jobs just seem to keep on growing here. Now, the other aspect that's helping our values, of course, is a lot of the GTA, Mississauga, Toronto, Brampton. They're opting to move further and further away from the city, because as bad as our prices seem, they are a bargain compared to what they're having to pay in these other cities. I know that sounds crazy, but it is true. I actually just saw something there earlier today, and it mentioned that there's a listing in Montreal listed for $20 million, high-end luxury home. And what the article was actually saying is it goes to show that despite our high prices, those who have net worth see the value of the real estate. So this house is now sold. They don't know exactly the price because, of course, they're trying to keep it under wraps and they don't want to divulge all that information. But I think they're saying it's one of the highest sold homes across Canada at $20 million. So the fact somebody's willing to drop $20 million, I know for many of my clients, we're $500,000, $600,000, $800,000. These seem like a stretch, and they are a stretch for many of us. But there's always those that have more, and as much as we may not like it, it is the realities. Okay. Now, another thing to keep in mind too is look at the bigger global scale of things. So as high as, again, things might seem in Toronto or Kitchener-Waterloo, we're not really much different than many other places in the world. There was actually a report I read not too long ago talking about Hong Kong, New York, LA, Chicago, Orlando. Take any of the major metropolises, and really Toronto is that, and we are part of we're becoming part of that GTA area. Our prices are in line, if not anything. We're actually on the low side for some of these locations, and of course for others a little bit on the high side. But if you think of it that way, really our prices are not as ridiculous as they seem to be. Another thing to think about in regards to this too is a lot of people, when they're looking at the global picture, you got to keep in mind we have a lot of immigrants coming to Canada, so they look at things from a global perspective, whereas we might just look at a communal type of perspective. But $1 million, and I can't believe how many houses I'm now seeing listed $1 million plus. I remember 7 years ago, I barely ever saw $1 million listing. Now, it's normal. Every day I see $1 million listings, somewhat normal. $1 million Canadian really only translates to about $750,000 American. And if you go to many American cities, San Diego, LA, wherever else, you will find that $750 is really kind of the norm in many of these places. So again, something else to think about. So will we continue to go higher? Well, San Diego will, LA, Orlando, well, I think we will. It's all about safety and security in jobs and everything else that goes along there. Okay. Now the other thing, of course, is why this year? Why is everything going crazy in the 2020 year on the real estate market? And I have a couple thoughts on that. One is that, with the lockdown that we experienced, a lot of people were stuck in little condos or little rentals or whatever else. They said, if we have another shutdown, we experience this in a couple more years, I just don't want to be stuck in this situation again. So saying now is the time to go get that home that we've been talking about getting for many, many years. And perhaps sitting around their home, they had nothing else to do anyways. They've been looking into it, running their numbers, and it just made a lot of sense for a lot of people. The other thing I think, personally, on a personal note, is that the governments have come up with some pretty impressive programs to help us get through this COVID-19 time. But it is costing our government a lot of money. To the point that I'm a little skeptical that we're going to be able to pay that off, without having our taxes go through the roof. And that's not going to make much sense because that's going to stifle the economy anyways. So what are one of our other options? How are we going to go about paying off these debts? My personal thoughts are we're going to see inflation pick up. I remember back when we increased the minimum wage to 14 and then we're pushing up to $15 an hour. Everybody said that's ridiculous. And as everybody knows, that's just going to get reflected in your coffee and everything you buy at Walmart or Costco or wherever else, and those prices are going to keep going up. So we're going to be paying for those increases to minimum wage. And it really just means that, you know, every dollar we have is technically less valuable. That's the whole idea behind inflation there, and which of course is why you're going to go to your boss and you're going to say, I'm going to expect that increase, because there's no way I'm going to be working and based on all the hard work in a factory for the same amount of dollars that somebody might be earning at, say, Tim Hortons. No offense to anybody out there. Yeah, this is how the economy works. So I think we're going to see inflation take off. So if inflation does take off, how are we going to deal with that? And one thing I know a lot of people are doing is they're buying tangible assets, things that will also accumulate in value, because we can bring down the value of the dollar. So therefore, $1 million is not really like $1 million anymore. It's, you know, might be worth $700,000. So if that makes any sense to you guys, if you want me to clarify, by all means, feel free to give me a call, and I can definitely walk you through that whole idea of inflation there. But certain things aren't going to change. The house is still a house. Now we can, of course, and you're going to own that house. What's going to happen is that house is going to go up in value because the value of the dollar is less and less. You go to many African countries, their currencies have deflated because the governments have continued to print so much currency that obviously you're not going to buy the same house for the same price when the currency's got less and less value. So therefore, they're going to charge more money for the house. And I think we're going to see the same thing here. And I think a lot of our people are well aware of that. Hence that example I mentioned of the $20 million house in Montreal. I would not be surprised. Obviously, they're enjoying it. They're going to enjoy it. That's a nice little bonus aspect to owning real estate. But the other thing is they've kind of hedged their bets. They've sunk their $20 million into a tangible asset. You know, one of the worst things we can do right now, or at least in the coming future, you know, I think things are going to be a little slow. I don't think we're going to see inflation take off in the next year or two. But once this kind of works itself out, I think we're going to see things go up significantly. So while our government is coming up with all-time new high debts, the reality is those debts in the global economy are going to be worth less and less. That being said, it's not just Canada. The U.S., Europe, I'm of the mindset that we're going to see inflation take off for many of these places at a given time. So hopefully you guys found that information helpful there. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. Please check out the mortgage video I posted down below in regards to refinancing. Now is a great time to take advantage of these ultra low mortgage rates. So check out that video. I've also put in a section there, which I've talked about extensively, in regards to reverse mortgages. A lot of people are getting older and they're just from the cash strap aspect of retirement, you know, without the money coming in. There are ways we can utilize your house to ensure that you can start enjoying retirement. You can take off on those traveling trips once things get back to normal, or on those cruises. We can get those renovations done, get those new windows put in, put the sunroom on. You know, there's a lot of other options. You know, we can even help you guys buy that cottage or help your kids buy their first home by utilizing reverse mortgages. Now that, you know, the caveat is you have to be 55 and older, and of course you got to have equity in the home. But by all means, check out the other video. Hopefully you'll find that insightful, and follow up with me. I would be more than happy to help you guys out. And of course, check out those listings. Share those listings with your friends and family, and it would just be a pleasure to assist any one of them with either helping them buy their new home or sell on behalf of them on. So again, reach out to me, and it would be a real pleasure to help. Wishing you guys an awesome end to the 2020 summer and an awesome end to the 2020 year. Hopefully things are going to work out really well for everybody, and we can go into 2021 just ready to start enjoying life again as normal. God bless.